But Anderson Silva, man, let's switch gears here, and because the arguably the greatest of all time. You and I had the pleasure of calling his, the pleasure was not the pleasure for him, but for us to be a part of his legacy the last time he was submitted in one of the most memorable submissions in MMA history.
Piranha.
But that's what I said. I don't know if anybody got it on Saturday. I tweeted out, I said, Derek Brunson needs to be a piranha.
There you go.
It was, of course, Rio Chonan with the flying scissor hook. The
inverted heel hook.
Yeah, the inverted heel hook from the
yep.
flying scissors heel hook. And, of course, he comes back against Derek Brunson, who was always a great fighter in Strikeforce, always an affable dude, on social media, always a nice guy, very respectful, and I respect his skills and what he's been able to do. And here is an opportunity for him to face one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, you're going to take advantage of said opportunity. But then the fight. Hey, I'm all about the Queen of Soul, who's announced her retirement from recording. Aretha Franklin, we talked about it on Rutten Rinaldo. And by the way, for a completely different flavor, but still just as fun and entertaining and exciting, check us out on Rutten Rinaldo. That's when we let our hair down, says the guy with short hair to the bald
with
guy.
the bald head.
But anyway, Queen of Soul, she's all about RESPECT. And I thought Derek Brunson had way too much respect.
But you know what also?
For Anderson Silva.
I thought it was, that the first round Anderson won also. And then suddenly I go,
we watched the fight
again.
Watched
the fight
with
no sound. And we just watched the fight. Just the guys, nothing. No sound whatsoever. And man, Brunson won the fight.
Clear that he won the fight. Well, clear that he won the fight, but in an ultra competitive fight, if that makes any sense. First round, he won that round. Second round, very close in many, but again, an awful fight, just like the main event. I hate to say it, but not entertaining in the least. And second, if I said to you, I put the proverbial gun to your head in that second round, who do you think won?
Yeah, that's true.
Derek Brunson.
Derek Brunson. But you know what? Also, Silva lets himself get hit with all these uppercuts, and I go like, well, yeah, he lets himself get hit. Yes, but Brunson is scoring points with it.
Right.
You're
right. Okay. And then the third round.
The third one was very, very close. I would say, okay, I could see that go to Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva as well.
But there was 2 rounds for Brunson, I would say.
And at the end of the day did anyone come out looking? I mean, emotional win for Anderson Silva. First win in over, 4.5 years. Had his kids with him there. By the way, the one son can spit some fire.
Rap, man.
He's going to drop some bars on us. One day when we can afford to hire a producer for this show, we have Vicky Pezza on Rutten and Rinaldo. But once we, start dressing this program up a little bit more, we'll bring sound effects and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Right now, it's just you and I. Got carpool karaoke. You got comedians in cars. You got... 2 crazy men inside a studio. So let's go back to the Anderson Silva and Derek Brunson fight.
Yep.
I was hoping for a Brunson burner, an exciting fight. Didn't happen. Didn't materialize. We talk about the fact that maybe too much respect on Derek Brunson's part, but also about the fact that I scored it 29-28 for Derek Brunson. Anderson Silva showed glimpses, and I mean, how voracious an appetite do we have as mere mortals to continue to exact flesh from these legends like Anderson Silva, where you find ways to critique, but he agrees to continue his career at his age now, in the twilight of a legendary career. There were glimpses of the vintage Spider, but man, oh man, bro, I was not impressed with his performance on Saturday.
In the past, he's always been exactly the same. He's been waiting, but he would always knock somebody out.
And take advantage and exploit.
And that made up for everything else. Now he's doing the glimpses,
Is it reflexes? Is it age?
No, I think maybe it's stamina. I think when he really focuses and he can do the stamina, he looked a little bit more out of shape as well,
soft.
right?
Yeah.
So, but,
says Rinaldo, who needs to lose 30 pounds.
But, it's, if he would have 10 of those bursts in every round, he's going to be a great fighter. So I'm kind of hoping, because every time when he starts playing around and doing the crazy stuff, he becomes very effective. I would love to see him do that more often, and then I would love to see him fight.
More often. Wow, how much more often? Let's go through Saturday night. Let's go through Saturday night's fight. First round between Brunson and Silva. What was your take on what you witnessed?
Yeah, we saw Brunson win that fight.
Why? The round.
Why? Because, he was doing more. He connected more was simply counting the strikes. He connected more. With no sound, we were literally counting the strikes. Effective striking.
Or
he got
what
that
passed
one.
for it.
Same as, and then also with these uppercuts, when he lets himself get hit, I go, yeah, that's a problem, because those are points.
Brunson outstruck him, but again, and man, holy mac, am I going to be struck by lightning here? I love Greg Jackson and Coach Mike Winkeljohn, but what about that strategy then for Derek Brunson against a guy like Anderson Silva? And even the technique, though, as a striking coach and a striker no peril, were you impressed with his technique?
No, and he shot from far out as well. When he went for a takedown, he could have set it up with a bit more strikes.
Takedown's one thing, the striking technique.
The striking technique. No, it's exactly what they told him in the corner. You have too much respect for him. Let it go. And at the last round, he wanted to let it go, but then Anderson Silva probably thought also he was behind. So he started to let it go, and that's why that round actually, I thought, went to Anderson Silva.
And so at the end of the fight, you scored it initially for Anderson Silva.
Yes, I did.
And after watching it now,
we just rewatched it, I scored for Brunson.
29. But again, no robbery. We're not saying it was anything like that, but it's again, man, how do we fix? We always talk about the great conundrum for MMA, the combat sports. How do you ensure the right person gets their hand raised more often than not? And in that fight, yes, an argument can be made in that second round, but it's Derek Brunson that should have earned the biggest win of his career. And again, congratulations to Anderson Silva, but boss, you want to continue to see him in fights? Okay, look at he's even said it himself.
Go, man,
well, I know,
guy.
of course, and for
so
you
awesome.
too. I know, and honestly, he says he's not caring. He doesn't care about the belts anymore. He's happy. He says he's happy when he's in the cage. Man, if anyone finds their source of happiness, hey, squeeze the juice out of that.
Oh yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
You know what I mean? So I get it, but this is also one of the most dangerous sports on earth. Painting is one thing. Me announcing, I want to announce till I drop dead. But this is fighting. And I'm wondering, where does Anderson Silva fit in the current middleweight climate?
Yep, I know.
We saw the fight with Michael Bisping. So, okay, where do you see then? I mean, you say you want to see him fight again. Who's out there that you'd like to see Anderson Silva fight?
Yeah,
George St. Pierre?
That will be something. That's probably what everybody's thinking about.
Well, that's it then. I mean, if you want to do it, now's the time. Dana White saying that, GSP's still there. That nothing really earth-shattering to report. But for both of them, man, let's close an amazing chapter of MMA history, having the fight at whatever, catch weight. If St. Pierre is, usually at 170, and Silva, who has fought, by the way, that fight he lost to Rio Chonan. I believe he wasn't. I think he was 170 or thereabouts. He wasn't at middle. Was he at 183?
Yeah, Chonan. He's
183 is big. Yeah,
you think so?
Anyway, there were different weight limits then. But what I'm saying here is the only fight that I want to see, and I think we have to be careful what we wish for, because I don't know if it's going to be an entertaining fight. Can you imagine George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva, the style clash?
Yeah. Well, you know exactly what's going to happen, right? I mean, George St. Pierre's trying to take him down and then be on top.
So there we go. We don't need to have that fight, and that's it. Enjoy your millions. Enjoy your league. So you don't want to see Anderson Silva fight again?
I would love to see him fight again, but against another striker, I would love to see that.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Does he move up in weight? Does he stay at 185?
I would love to see him at 205. Against Forrest, he did great at 205.
Yeah, and a few others, too.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not, far be it from me to push anybody out the door, especially Anderson Spider Silva, but I just didn't. I'm worried I wanted to remember my idols and champions the way they deserve to be.
He's still good with his defense.
Put it this way: Don King should have been criminally charged for letting Muhammad Ali into the ring against Larry Holmes.
Yep.
And I've seen it far too often. We both have, boss. Where yes, you said it yourself. I talked to Frank Shamrock, who may be the one person on earth who doesn't miss fighting the way others do, because for him it was always the art. It was always a means to an end, and he just so happened to be a trailblazer in that respect. But those who continue to keep fighting because they like it, there has to be a time and a place where someone has to say, you know what, brother? We love what you did. Look what Chuck Liddell, bro. What Dana White had to do there and others. I don't know. I don't think Anderson Silva's there yet, but I don't want to see him put in a situation where he's going to turn old overnight.
No, I don't think so. I think he looked great. His reflexes are good. If he just stops with let himself get hit, right? Because he can control that. If he just lets go of that clinch, he doesn't get hit with all those uppercuts. For the rest, were there really big punches landing? Some low kicks, and these inside low kicks he didn't
Derek
even check
Brunson's
anymore.
style. I'm saying against a guy. Like, I'm just saying I'm isolating Anderson Silva's performance. And I'm like, what did he do?
I want to see more flashes. I want to see more flashes of what he had.
Can he do that, though, boss, at his age? I don't think he can.
Well, let's see if he can do it in the next fight. And if he doesn't do it in the next fight, then I will say he should
All right.
stop.
So you're willing to give him one more shot. Okay.
One more shot.